Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're hearing me. Let me see if you're hearing me. Let's see. Mic settings. I hope you guys are hearing me. Let me go look and see if you guys are hearing me finally. Let's see if this issue has been. I'm so sorry, guys. We've been having some technical difficulties. But we'll figure this out one way or another. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Do you guys hear me? Sorry, guys. Yeah. Okay, so you are hearing me. So that's good to hear. That is great. Let's see. Let's bring the comments on here. All right, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Rosie Lastra podcast. Okay, welcome, my son blazers and heroes. Tonight's episode is extremely, extremely emotional. So bear with me. It's if this is your first time here, my name is Rosie Lastra. I'm a mother, a faith-driven advocate, a certified Reiki healer, and someone who has walked through more hospitals, diagnoses, surgeries, and medical crossroads uh, than I ever thought I would ever imagine that I ever would want to. Okay. Uh, th- Through my own health challenges, through watching family members battle cancer, through surgeries, COVID recoveries, broken bones, and ultimately through losing my son Jeremy to a rare aggressive liver cancer. I had to learn how to fight for life with wisdom, not fear. I had to learn how to sit across from doctors respectfully, confidently, uh, and advocate for care that honors science, faith, nutritional energy, and the body's God designed intelligence. Everything I share today the, was learned in real time under pressure when outcomes mattered. Remember, guys, I'm not 100% over grief. And this is a very, very intimate, very strong thing, but it's something that needs to go out there and you guys need to know. So everything I'm sharing tonight, ooh, it's very emotional. Uh, but you guys need to hear this. So I know that this is going to give you tremendous value. I know this is going to impact you in a huge, huge way. I am reading, but I wrote all this down. So this is very, very dear to me, and this is where we're going to change the planet because this information needs to go out there, be more readily available to people. Okay, this episode is not theory; it's lived experiences from surgery to acute care. But healing doesn't stop at procedures. Healing happens in an environment, and environment matters. Okay, why this conversation is urgent? We need to talk about why so many people feel lost in the medical system. The United States spends over 4.5 trillion a year on healthcare, more than any country in the world. Yet we continue to see rising chronic disease, burnout, and patient dissatisfaction. At the same time, the global wellness industry has surpassed 6 trillion. Americans are spending billions out of pocket on holistic and integrative care. Recent nutrition surveys show that less than half of Americans fully trust the healthcare system and trust in doctors. Oh, breathe. Yeah, when you guys are going through massive emotional situations, it's always really good to breathe. Okay? Breathe in through your nose. and out through your mouth. Ooh. Okay, so I was trying new techniques as well. Okay. So Americans are spending billions out of pocket on holistic and integrative care. And trust is dropping when it comes to our medical system. And recent nutrition surveys show that less than half of Americans fully trust the healthcare system. And trust in doctors has declined sharply over the last decade. Why? Because people feel rushed, dismissed, over medicated, and disconnected from their own healing. And that's so, so true. This doesn't mean that doctors are failing. It means the system is incomplete. And that's where East meets West matters. Okay? I didn't reject medicine. I expanded it. Let me be clear. I did not reject Western medicine. I partnered with it. Western medicine is exceptional at diagnostics, emergency intervention, surgery, and acute care. Healing happens in an environment, and like I said, the environment matters. Through repeated experiences, I learned that when you support the body's terrain physically, emotionally, energetically, and spiritually, outcomes change. That's not rebellion. That's integration, guys. Let's dive into alkalinity and the healing terrain. Let's talk about alkalinity in the right way. Okay. Science is clear. Blood pH is tightly regulated. We do not manipulate blood pH. But science also shows chronic inflammation produces acidic byproducts in tissues. Acidic environments stress cells and mitochondria. Inflammation shows repair and immune response. Okay, nutrition hydrates, minerals, oxygen, and stresses directly affect cellular terrain. Okay, so when I talk about alkalinity, I'm talking about supporting the environment the body heals in. Okay, that is why the alkaline diet works. I focus on reducing inflammatory load, improving hydration and mineral balance, supporting oxygenation, and nourishing the body instead of exhausting it. Key truth, I didn't try to change blood chemistry. I changed the terrain, and the body responded. I mean, I did. This alkaline diet was incredible. It all started when my stepmom was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and was pretty much the oncologist had only given her 2 months of life. And a friend of mine, while I was at the hospital, I reached out to her. Her name is Fabi, and she reminded me about her husband, Esteban, and how he had a tumor and was given 90 days of life. When she put him on, not only did he become, did this cancer become, that he overcome the cancer, but 5 years later, he was doing phenomenally well. Okay. So when she reminded me of that, I went ahead and plus I had already had a scientist in my life who had told me about alkalinity, who had told me, he guaranteed me that if I give my stepmom the 7.5 and above, in 90 days, how cancer would die. And so I moved on it. And we went ahead and put her on an alkaline diet. And I went ahead and cleaned out her house. I went ahead and my dad, her, and me, all three of us got on the alkaline diet. And 8 months later, that same oncologist, when he saw us in the hospital, he asked me, he says, "Is that your stepmom?" And I said, "Yeah." He says, "Well, let me explain something to you. What when I diagnosed her, that you asked me about term of life, and I told you you don't want to know, just enjoy every minute with her. I was only giving her 2 months. So any time she's lived beyond that is because of that nutritional diet you have her on, that alkaline diet. Okay, guys. So she lived an extra year, a little over a year, actually about a year and a month, almost a year and a month, from the time he had given her. So, and I never was able to get her body to 7.5 because she never drank enough water. And I found out later on she was actually going next door and asking the neighbor for some Cuban food every now and then. So I never was able to achieve the 7.5 with her. Okay. So, but there's no doubt in my mind that this alkaline diet works. Also, my son was given was when he was diagnosed, the oncologist said that the type of cancer he had, when we did the research, and he, it was pretty much like if the chemo didn't work and things didn't work, it would be like 2 years. Uh, he ended up lasting 4 years. During the process, he too went on the alkaline diet, and during the process, uh, the oncologist that told me at the beginning he did not believe he could not endorse the alkaline diet because it hadn't been proven and hadn't been backed, also came back and told us that Jeremy's tumors had been significantly shrunk, and what he was giving Jeremy wasn't supposed to reduce the tumors; it was just stopping the growth. Uh, but the way I spoke to that doctor, the way I speak to these doctors, because they do not, they cannot back things that are not approved by the Food and Drug Administration. So they're not going to, because they could have issues. So they're not going to mention it. They're not going to tell you about it. So unless you advocate for it, unless you speak right to these doctors, they're going to talk you against it. So always make sure that you let them know, what I explained to that doctor is that I valued him, I respected him, okay, but I was going to do this with my son. And he said, okay. He says, go ahead. I did. I just didn't want to interfere with anything he was doing. And he said it's healthier, so go for it. So we did. And because of it, uh, Jeremy's life was extended. Okay. Unfortunately, with time, Jeremy could not handle the diet. And he asked me, Ma, he says, I, I, I can't continue doing this. This is not me. And he chose not to continue the diet. But I know it. I know that this works. Okay. Another thing I want to get into is that when Jeremy uh, was in the hospital, uh, there's a thing called blue light and biological signaling. Uh, Let me explain that to you a little bit. Let me give you the terminology. Western medicine already uses light therapy for circadian rhythm disorders, depression, skin healing, and wound recovery. Light is information to the body. Blue light, when used therapeutically and intentionally, influences hormones signaling, cellular communication, alertness, and recovery cycles. When I combine light therapy with medical care, nutrition, energy work, prayer, and rest, I saw improvements in energy, sleep, recovery, speed, and mental clarity. Jeremy was in the because his kidneys and livers were failing a few months before, unfortunately, he passed. And they were like, you could tell that, and they were saying things like, maybe he needs to go on hospice. And you could tell that the doctor did not believe that Jeremy could make it, was going to make it home. And I just, something switched within me. And I remember a conversation with a gentleman who told me that through blue light therapy, he was able to help his wife come, who had a sepsis. Okay, and I remember that the blue light therapy reduces infection. So I went ahead and got me a blue light, and I beamed it at his kidneys and his liver. I went ahead and had a Reiki therapist come, and between her and I, we did Reiki on him steadily. We prayed a lot. We did Reiki a lot. We used the blue light, and within less than a day, it went from nothing is working to, oh my God, he's responding. And it's a miracle. Okay, those were the words that kept coming out. Is miraculous. It's a miracle. So Western medicine treats structure. Eastern medicine supports signals. Together they work, guys. They do work. Doctors, I respect your expertise. I'm choosing this is how you can speak. The doctors, and this is how basically I spoke to the doctor in Tampa. Okay, doctors, I respect your expertise. I'm choosing to add supportive therapies that are evidence based and non interfering. Can we work together to monetize outcomes? I asked, what should I avoid so I don't interfere with treatment? What markers can we track together? What's our shared goal for the next 30 days? Advocacy is not opposition, it's collaboration. And that's what we need to learn, guys. We need to learn to collaborate with these doctors. We don't have to go against them. I do not believe in, oh, no, no, don't tell your doctor. I do not believe in that. I believe that we need to speak together. It's unity that heals, not opposition. Okay? The outcomes. Here's what changed: faster recovery, reduced inflammation, better energy, improved labs, less fear, and more hope. And guys, Jeremy's labs completely did an around face when we did the blue light and when we did the Reiki and when we did the prayer. Okay, his labs just changed dramatically. I had a situation also with my dad. My dad, unfortunately, ended up with COVID and ended up with COVID pneumonia in the hospital. And he unfortunately died because of the COVID pneumonia. Well, COVID pneumonia because he also had what's called myelodysplastic syndrome. Myelodysplastic syndrome is a disease where your spine, doesn't produce the platelets you need in blood to stop excessive bleeding. And because of it, my dad was having to have massive amounts of blood transfusions. And between that and COVID pneumonia, unfortunately, he passed. But during that time that he was in the hospital, I was very successful at the beginning to be able to show doctors how certain products that I was using at the time would benefit, and they were alkaline based products. And at first I was told, no, 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 you can't have this here. But after speaking to doctors and showing them what we had and explaining them that my dad felt like it helped them, and then reading what the products contained, they allowed it. And when my dad would take these products, and they were alkaline, they were just alkaline based. It's like if you were taking fruits and vegetables and putting them in a bottle. Okay, so it's massive fruits and vegetables. And every time that he would be doing the massive fruits and vegetables, his blood work would start reflecting. Even the scans, the pneumonia would start reducing. But then a new doctor would come in and would tell me, "Oh, no, 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 you can't have those products here." And when that new doctor would come in again, the same thing would happen. And these products could be any products out there that are alkaline based, that are protein shakes, that are like immune system control, things like that. It's just support the body, okay? And the new doctor would tell me, no, 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 you can't use those products. So he'd have to stop taking it for a minute. And then again, his numbers would decline. And I would go ahead and make an appointment with a doctor. I would talk to the doctor. I would convince him, I would let him know that what it was about. And they would say, okay, again. And then his numbers would go back up. And that happened multiple times while we were going through his pneumonia. He was actually in the hospital for, I think it was almost 2 weeks before he finally passed through this process. Okay. And during those 2 weeks, that was the whole journey. So there's no doubt in my mind again. And, alkalinity, supporting the system, giving your body high high nutrition, making it be supportive, to reduce inflammation. Anything that reduces inflammation, gives you better energy, improves labs, less fear, more hope. Gives you more. It reduces fear and gives you more hope. So healing becomes something we participate in, not something that happened to us. Okay, why this matters? Chronic illness, rising trust is breaking. People feel powerless. Integrative healing is not a trend; it's response. East plus West is not rebellion; it's revelation. All right. If this episode spoke to you guys, subscribe, share, and send it to someone navigating healing. This is Jeremy's UnityFlight.com and the Rosie Lastra podcast. Visit our website at Jeremy's UnityFlight.com for free journals, healing resources, and healing hope starter packs. Your story matters, your healing matters, and you matter. God bless and have a wonderful day. And streaming.